Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, keenly awaited, highly anticipated edition of the afternoon swing trading floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding you to love life, live life, and trade it. What is going on, you magical humans of the world? What a day, what a month, what a week. Woo! Unbelievable. Some of the results we're having. Oh my goodness. It is crazy town. Crazy town. I'm almost at a loss for words. Thank you. I'm going to say thank you. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all those who are signing up and joining Real Life Trading. We have seen some incredible feedback, some wonderful news, and I'm getting great emails from traders who are just very excited about January, very excited about the returns, really happy about what the market's doing, and it's a great place to be. So very happy. Thank you for being here. Kevin Stone says, thank you, Jeremy. You're enriching lives. Together, my man. We're doing it together. We have a lot to look at. I'm going to hop over here and turn my I might minimize my webcam to make the webcam a little bit smaller. I'll turn off for a second until that glare over here turns off. Luke says, I want one of those T-shirts. You want one of these T-shirts? Let me do this. Teespring. Let me find one I can find on Teespring. Let me hop over here. Teespring. Steven says, signed up. Let's make some R's. Yeah, brother. Will do. Give me 3 seconds. I'm going to go to the actual Real Life Trading page. I'll send you guys all a shirt if you guys want one. I'll send you the link so that you can I bought like 40 of them. How do I get there? Give me a second. I need to save like the actual link. Hold on, I'm already on a tangent. We're already going to be on a tangent today. I mean, this one will work, but there's like a whole storefront maybe. No, this is not going to be it. Maybe? Yeah, this is it. That was too easy. Okay. Here you guys go. Here's the link. If you guys want any Real Life Trading merch, Steven says, got the family watching now too, just trying to help you enrich lives. Sister, niece, nephew, and his buddy. Woo! All right. So here's the link for everything. If you got any ladies in your friend, you got some nice ladies tanks. You got some coffee cups. We got some fun shirts if anybody wants any of these. I'd say just purchase 2 or 3 at a time. So that way you got some nice wardrobe selections for when you trade. Get a nice little trading rhythm going on. So you always have, your trading game ready to go. Anyway, that's that. Let's talk markets. Thank you, Luke, by the way. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. There's a lot to talk about in the markets today. Here's an interesting thing. Type in a 3 if you were at the webinar or you watched the webinar where I talked about this exact pattern right here. The last 3 days. Let me make it a little bit more clear. Last 3 days. Type in a 6 if you have no idea what I'm talking about. If it's like, if you get a 6, it's okay. No 6s, 2 6s. All right, but mostly 3s. So for those who are getting some 6s, let me hop over here. Jack says, you mean the wicked pair? Exactly. You got it, buddy. So the last 2 days were a wicked pair candle. And then we gapped up today, which is a very strong bullish pattern. That's one of the secrets that I talked about in this particular presentation. I gave Gregory Hill a frequent trader point for finding that and noticing that. And it was just a scorcher of the move. So SPY is doing phenomenal. Deepak says, but you also said a big white candle retraces. True, but this is not really a big candle. This is a pretty average candle right here today. Pretty average candle for the SPY. Maybe a little bit on the big side. So I would say Deepak for sure I have no problem getting 2 or 3 days of a pullback next week, and then it'd probably be a buying opportunity. So if we do have a retracement next week, I think that's good. Donnie says, Sharon and I are a wicked pair. Yeah, you are. Drake says, we have not hit the 10 EMA since January. Yeah, since the start of the month. It's been a phenomenal move. Incredible. We need a pullback, says Steven. I agree. Robert says, do we even hit the 10 or go straight to the 20 on the pullback? Yeah, we're going to hit the 10 and probably bounce off at this point. We're getting stronger and stronger. I do have a big target up here at 297.40. I might have mistimed the market a little bit, but it's going to be very close to here to start locking in some gains, my friends, on your swing trades or longer term stuff, even if you just have to peel it off. If you're, it's all about timing. If you're young, don't even worry about it. All right? I say young, if you're under 50, plenty of time. If you're over 60, I still think you got time easily, but this is just going to be, you know, if you want to cash a little bit out and you catch a little bit of a dip and kind of rebalance, you could start considering that. We still got more to go. But the cool part is I came out with the Stop Being a Perma-Bear video right here, right around here for the real life trading. I'm very happy. That helped a lot of traders out because there was a lot of traders kept trying to time the top of the market. I just said, guys, stop this. Stop it, stop it, stop it. You're going to make a lot more money. So anyway, SPY is going banana sandwich is what I'm getting at. And if you're looking at trading it, this is a retest gap on the hourly charts. I will trade exactly what you can look for. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it means if it gets it, at least you can plan on that dip right there on the hourly chart. So that's the SPY. Here's the Qs. The Qs are also up nicely. Target 178.41. The trend is still bullish. Do not be bearish on this market. Here's the IWM. IWM was actually pretty weak on the daily chart. Still waiting for it to hit its first target, but it will get there. Just again, bullish to neutral on the IWM. The IWM has 2,000 stocks, so it just moves a little bit slower usually. Very good for bull put spreads and credit spreads. And then you have the Dow Jones ETF and the Dow Jones rocking it out. So the Dow, I mean, you're going to see the Dow 30,000 in our lifetime easily, but I think a pullback at some level, you know, obviously would make sense. Strong bullish market right now, folks. Don't be a bear. Buy the dips and keep buying them until they stop working. I will try. I had someone ask me, when do you stop buying the dips? And again, I'm going to lose 3 Rs or 3 or 4 trades before I stop buying dips. Dylan says, what fib number do you use when making targets on stocks making new highs? Usually the 2618 is a good target, Dylan. And last but not least, let's go to FAS, which is the financial ETF. Here's the financial 3X ETF. And again, just a powerhouse of a trend. January has been very strong. We haven't even pulled back. You have to be in the hourly charts to buy these pullbacks, right? This is the bill paying trade. Otherwise, you're just kind of doing its thing. John says, target of late May, early April. How do you come up with those dates? A lot of experience, John. A lot of experience. Now, it can hit before that, but that's just one of my skills. All right? It's just one of the skills. And he says, with 2 monitors, what do you think would be most beneficial websites to keep open when trading? Honestly, man, for me, I don't have any kind of I don't do news very often. That being said, there is a news service out there called Benzinga Pro, which is pretty cool. That's pretty speedily. So Benzinga Pro could be a cool news source if you like news sources. Otherwise, for me, man, I have a charting software. That's always open, right? I have Slack. That's always open. And I have my broker on the other computer, and that's always open, and that's it. That's pretty much what I got. Veronica says, what's happening in April or May? Nothing really. Just the whole sell in May and go away kind of thing. I would figure that the market can only go up so high at some point. It has to rest. So Those are two monitors that I would have open. That's what I got. But I have I recently upgraded. It's just like kind of a fun thing. But I recently got, you know, these guys over here, and I got these guys over here. So I got 8 monitors. I just put one chart on each monitor that I like. One company on each one. Marta, I'll be looking at WYNN. I got that one on my list. So let's pull up the stocks that you want to look at today. And again, this is the last day of the free week. So you guys already know what to do at this point. I don't have to berate it. Make sure you sign up. Tim says, do you have RDFN on the agenda today? Redfin, I do not. I think I have time for 1 or 2 more. But the rest are going to go on next week. Okay, let's get started. Tesla. I do have it on there. Tesla, TSLA, you're correct. Thank you. It was already on there. Here's my wave count on Tesla. And we created this about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So it looks so far to be pretty accurate. This was the end of wave 3, and I think this is the end of that wave 4. So wave 3 almost got that to the day and the price. So again, John P., if you're asking how I do that, that's just the experience thing, man. And then the wave 4, so we're getting that wave structure. This is good. This is good. So what I'm going to do now is piece it up like this and move this over here. My buddy Niels had a put sale expiring at 260. Give me 1 second. I'm going to close my blinds. This sun is crushing it. All right. This sun's going bananas. All right, much better. So Tesla, let me see. When is your earnings, Tesla? Your earnings is February 21st. You got about a month left. Here's the long-term moving averages, and long-term moving averages were right on the 100, 200. That's very nice. Tesla, TSLA. So saying that, I think we're going to be bouncing sometime soon. Could be good and prudent of us to maybe consider a bull put spread. Are we sure earnings are on that date? Because that looks like too much premium. Derek says, I think you did wave 3 goes right. Thanks, man. John says, hello, everyone. I'm late to the party. It is a party. Thanks for being here. Tesla, February 21st. So I have February 21st in 2 different locations. But Vincent says 2.7. Why is there so much premium on a bull put spread? Can you guys help me with this? There's a lot of premium down here. 310. Implied volatility is 47%. Is there really that much implied volatility on these things? What? A 300 put sale, I could sell for 255, and a 295 I could buy for $2. I could get 50 cents. This seems made up. 300. Steven, I'm looking at another screen right now. Robert says TOS is 2.7. Does it? Let me try typing it again. TSLA earnings. I have my TOS says February 21st. Steven says LLK, but what? The options chain, my friend. Options chain. The options chain and Thinkorswim. I'll do more Thinkorswim stuff for you guys next week if you want me to pull up that broker. I guess they're not confirmed yet, so I guess I'm going to have to wait is the challenge. Now, if you want, you could always, again, maybe do some kind of bull put spread, but I think there's too much premium right now, so there's something up. Because we could go in for a regular February and sell down here and get like a 10% return for 3 weeks. So I feel like that's something off on Tesla, some kind of earnings or something. But anyway, what I would say is at this point, well, let's verify earnings. If Tesla closes above 350.18, that could be a good trade. I think this is the way for. Here's what's exciting. I am wrong often, my friends. Don't think I'm always right. I'm not. Okay. But when I am wrong, I'm wrong in a beautiful way. Fantastic way. Meaning, if Tesla closes below this orange line, and this is not a wave 4, that could be a very fun bearish trade, right? So if Tesla doesn't bounce, that's okay. Newsom's wrong. If I'm wrong, other people are going to be wrong. Not saying you guys necessarily, but that's the biggest Newsom nugget of the day is if I'm wrong in a big way, play that trade accordingly the other direction. Because if this thing just crushes lower, it's going to go back down to 300. So Justin says, I'll let you know what I was planning, so do the opposite. All right. All righty. Tommy, all right. I will copy and paste that. So Tommy's throwing out some ideas in the chat pane as well, folks. So another great part of being a part of the community, bunch of good chatter. So that's Tesla. Let's move on. Netflix, good Googa Mooga. Oh my goodness, Netflix. I truly thought 300 would be my Q2 target. This thing only got 1 day of a retest. I'm missing this trade, guys. It did not pull down to the 10 EMA. I talked about that on Tuesday. Look how close it got, though. I don't know if any of you took this trade. I said buy it off the 10 on the hourly. That was it, and it did not hit it. Didn't hit it there, didn't hit it there, didn't even hit it there. So I'm not in on Netflix. I want you guys to know that. If you're missing the trade, it's okay. Smile. There will be another trade to take. Amy's not missing this trade, though. She's in it. This is one of the stocks that Ashley's in, so I don't feel too terribly bad about, someone's making money on the trade. Mike's in the Netflix with a call. Beautiful. I love it. John says a February 18, 165, 160 bull put spread should be okay. Oh, John Wheeler, you're funny. There's a chance that Netflix could drop 100 points, but it's a very small one. So yeah, you'll be fine, buddy. Well done with your bull put spread. Anyway, we'll see what happens on 300. This one will pull back at some point. So when it does, look to buy the dip. The trend is bullish on Netflix. Do not be afraid of Netflix. But again, Amy, congrats on Netflix. Very well done. Brandon says CRM Disney bull put spread expiring today. Nice job, Brandon. All right, next on the list, we have U.S. Steel. U.S. Steel. Again, I'm waiting out on U.S. Steel. Niels had a put sale at 31.50. Fantastic job, Niels. Here's the resistance on U.S. Steel. Again, monthly moving averages, really smack dab right there. So I'm game to play U.S. Steel bullish, but I'm just looking at something like this, and this happening, and then if that occurs, we'll look to buy that dip. So pretty much it. So that's U.S. Steel. That's all the trade I have. Next on the list, CMI, which is Cummings. CMI, another put sale for my good buddy Niels Christensen, expiring worthless. We do a lot of put sales in the afternoon room as well, a lot of option trades. CMI, beautiful job, Niels. Let me give him a congratulations. Congrats on a big payday. Big payday, Niels. Seymour, you're going to have to start doing those, by the way. You're going to like them a lot. Put sales, man. They're fun, especially in a really strong bullish market. Good times. Robert says, I love put sales. They are fun, man, especially when the market just keeps going higher and higher and higher. Be bullish. Next on the list is Facebook. Had some traders. Speaking of put sales, there's your boy Robert Falco with a put sale expiring worthless today. These blue lines are my interpretation of what I think Facebook is going to do. I am very confident it's going to do the top one, which is gap up and then trade down. Why would I think that's going to happen? Well, that's what's been doing in the past, last like 7 earnings in a row. Mario says, any distinct advantage over put sales versus call buyings? Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be right to sell a put. You don't need to be right. So the stock can just trade sideways, right? If you buy a call, the stock has to go up. So you can make money on a put sale if the stock goes up, sideways, down some. It does require margin, but yeah, it's much higher probabilities of being correct. That is right. Luke from Belgium, my brother, has some in February, and Matt DeLong has some. Deborah says, are you talking about put spreads? We also do put spreads, Deborah, but these are just pure naked puts all by themselves. Just taking the put, selling it, which does require margin, but yeah. So John, the answer to your question is yes, naked puts. You know what might clear this up for you guys? And I'll send you, here's the naked option margin calculator. If you guys want to know how much margin it requires. So let's say that you want to do 190 strike price, and you did one contract, and you did let's say you're like 162.50, and you had a put, and you got $2. The margin requirement would be, if you have margin, right, you have to have the approval level to do this. You can do this on $1,600 of margin. So it's not that crazy, actually, but you do have to have a big enough account. You don't want to break it in too much. So you have to have the highest level approval of options possible. Otherwise, it's going to require the cash, right? So in order to do a put sale, right, if one contract is 100 shares, so 100 shares would be $16,250. They will hold that on cash unless you have very, very high level, Joseph, and you just have to apply for it, really. You have to apply for it, and you have to have a certain amount of liquid net worth, which is about 100,000. Yeah, so if the money is right, if you got enough money in the bank, they don't care. But, you know, you can always try. Depending on the broker, you can call them and say, hey, you know, I know what the risk of selling puts are. I want to sell puts on cheaper stocks, right? That is possible, but we can always talk about that. Sean, I don't use Thinkorswim probability chart for naked puts, no. John says, do you ever hedge if wrong on the naked put sale if the stock does the elevator drop? You can always put stops on those, sure. Absolutely. You can, but if I really want to own shares, then I don't. Dylan says, do you need any fancy education to trade options per your broker? They usually specify that they want you to have years of options experience, yes. There's a few times where I might have fudged some answers when setting up for a broker, but that's okay. The point is, do you know your risk? Do you know how to protect yourself? Marta says, I sell puts on stocks I want to own or have a plan with the stock, like writing calls against it. Exactly. Like getting stocks for discounts. So Marta, you're going to love the afternoon room because we do those all the time. So anyway, Facebook. Guys, Facebook will hit 200 this year. You heard it here again. It will. So I mentioned Baba's going to hit 300. I talked about that all week this week. If you didn't get into Baba, I mentioned it about 4,700 times. Facebook will also hit 200 this year, probably even higher. Here's the weekly chart. Weekly chart looks good. So if you're in Facebook long, or you're doing bull put spreads, you're doing put sales, or longer-term calls, or shares with covered calls, Facebook looks good. Earnings right around the corner. Let's trade it together next week. Baba is on the list for today. Here's RIOT, RIOT. RIOT. Bob has an $18 put sale on RIOT. And so this is one of those examples where one of our traders who sells puts all the time, just got put some stock, right? So what he does is now he's the happy owner of some shares of RIOT. But if he wanted to do that in the first place, right, if he didn't mind owning shares, his dollar cost average is actually, because he got 85 cents for that, that's actually $17.15, which is exactly where the stock is right now. So what he's going to do is, now that he owns the shares, he's going to turn right around and sell some covered calls. That's all Bob does. And Bob makes a lot of money. Be like Bob. I like Bob. Bob's an awesome guy. Bob made 100 R's last year doing this strategy and nothing other than this strategy. Selling puts on stocks he wants to own, turning around, selling a covered call, getting exercised. So nice job, Bob. Here's the 100, 200 simple moving average, which will act as a little bit of support. It could get down there that far. I'm not saying it will, but it might. So just kind of protect yourself for anyone who's looking at getting into that particular trade. I think she does come down to the 100, but that'll be more of a viable spot on RIOT. Next on the list is TLT, Treasury bonds. TLT. So Camilo is in a 122 bull put spread for February. TLT is just hanging out. I've been looking to do a bull put spread on TLT for a while. And the premium there, I wanted to go all the way out till March and actually do a put spread, Deborah, an actual bull put spread. Let's see. So March, I really want a March bull put spread on TLT below that 100 simple moving average, but there's just not enough premium. You could maybe get 6 or 7%. I feel like it's a free 6 or 7% doing a bull put spread down here for March. So 6 to 7% return is not bad, but it's not great either. John says, does the wicked pair have to gap in the general market direction, or does the market have to be in the same direction? Just the stock, not the gap. Great question. Matthew says, can you swing it? Yeah, you can trade TLT as much as you want. So if you're looking at doing any bull put spreads on TLT, it's down at this level, and I mean it's out of support. So buy low, sell high if you want to trade TLT. But he says, do you hold credit spreads until expiration? Usually, yeah, usually. Here's AT&T. AT&T. So Dean Chance sold some puts on AT&T. He got put some stocks. He turned right around, sold some covered calls, and he got called away on his shares today. So Dean, congratulations. Dean has done that exact same strategy on AT&T for a while. Here's the weekly chart, and look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Good old Ferdinand, the one-winged blind pigeon, made money on AT&T over the last 6 years. Be like Ferdinand. Real easy. Here's the long-term moving averages on AT&T. We're kind of bouncing off the 200. You know, again, sell some puts. If you get put some stock, turn right around. I don't have any position on AT&T or anything in the telecom sector. I don't like most cell phones. I won't go down my Sprint tangent today, but at some point I will. David says, will TLT pay dividend on U.S. dollars? That's a very good question, Mr. Ward. I do not know the answer to that. I've never bought shares of TLT. I've only traded options. Can anyone answer that? I can probably Google it. I would imagine TLT pays some kind of yield. I just don't know what it is. Does TLT pay a yield? So it wouldn't be a dividend necessarily, but it'd be more like a yield, like SPY. Camilo says it pays. It does pay? All right, I've never had shares of it. Yep, looks like it does. Looks like it does. David says, if U.S. dollar goes up, TLT options will suffer. Potentially, but U.S. dollar has been going down right now. So, you know. Marta says, when you mention the traders' names and the strategies they use, are these shared with other traders so they can take advantage of them as well? Yeah. I mean, that's what we do every day in the afternoon room, right, Marta? Someone, traders will post on Slack what they're doing. Like here's Brandon saying CRM and bull put spread. So they'll post what they're doing, and then I'll go in and I'll write it on the chart. And so I just track it, and then I put it to memory, and I just memorize everyone's trades. I sit up at night thinking about you guys and what you're trading because I care. Not that anyone else ever does that, but it's okay. Yeah, anyway, nice little team. So here's TD. Now, you guys remember we did have a swing trade on TD. I did exit it yesterday for a profit. So TD, I got out. If you're still in TD, that's absolutely fine. In fact, I really like this inside candle on TD. I really do. It's a nice looking trend, and I'm keeping an eye on it, seeing what's going on. And at this particular point, I'm just kind of seeing what's going to happen and figuring out from there what'll work. So we got out, at least I exited. Small gain on TD. Richard says, I have a limit order as a CFD. All right, thanks, Richard. Appreciate that. It's a good pennant pattern. It is. Nice pennant. Here it is. Here's the pennant pattern. Boom, boom. So if it drops in off the 20 and bounces, that would make a lot of sense to me. But I am out of that particular trade. Updated that in the Swing Trading Journal. We got half an R on it. Not bad. Okay, cool. Next on the list is FDC. FDC was also a trade that we were in. This was an official trade as well in the afternoon swing trading room, and I also exited this one yesterday. I could have held, granted, but per my plan, all my trades were up. It was near the end of the month. Everything was green across the board, so I exited. Is anyone still in FDC? So again, exit FTC, small gain, about 0.7 R. Nice little high. The trend looks good. If you are still in it, 1911 is the target. Mario says, did it form a cup and handle? Kind of, yeah. I could see that, Mario, so I could draw it. That was another reason why I got into the trend. I just really liked this bullish candle. You guys remember? Big bullish candles, they do what? They retrace. There's the retracement right there, right to the moving averages. Here's another pop, came back down, another pop, we got in, boom, boom, boom. So FDC, nice looking swing trade. That's another official one that we took. If you're still in it, let me know. I'll keep track of it. All right, next on the list is KRE. What is KRE doing? KRE. Steve B is in $63 calls for June. Regional banking ETF. Steve B, 63 June calls. I mean, it's a banking ETF, so looks good, Steve B. You probably want to keep holding that one. Just trade down to the 10. Volume is kind of declining. Looks like a rest. So KRE, still looking nice. I'll put that one on the list for you, Steve. Thursday, next Friday, Finance Friday. We'll just review that one again. Seymour says, I'm really tempted to get on my McDonald's and Pepsi, but I'm going to hold. You better. You got to beat me, bro. You're 1 hour behind for the month. Got to beat me. Janssen & Janssen. Here's ticker symbol J&J. And Johnson & Johnson, type in a 7 if you heard me talk about Johnson & Johnson during the free week. If you didn't, it's okay, but I mentioned this one approximately 13 times back to back to back to back to back because on Tuesday, Johnson & Johnson was sliding down a nice ice slippery slope, and people were losing their minds. And our analysis was, hey guys, it bounced off the 50 once, it bounced off the 50 twice. If it did it 2 times and they all made money, let's call them the purple traders. In fact, let's call them Ferdinand. So let's say Ferdinand, the blind one-winged pigeon, took that trade on Johnson & Johnson. He did it again the 3rd time. So Thomas sold some puts. Robert sold some puts. Asha bought a sold a put spread, 130, 135. So let me throw that in there. January 2019. Wow, you saw your spreads far out there. I like it. 130, 135. Sold. So Marta, here's an example. Okay. So I know you did that a few days ago. Cool. I like it. Nice bounce off the 50. I know Luke is in bullish on this one. So it moved to stop on it too quickly and got out 0.8 R. You did move that way too quickly. I love you, but you did get out real fast. It's Johnson & Johnson, man, one of the biggest companies in the world. It's not going to move fast, right? Those blue chip, big monster companies, the Walmarts, the Johnson & Johnsons, the Targets, the Costco's, right? Let them do their thing. Be patient as you can on those. CMG, right? CMG is a very, very fast move. Johnson & Johnson is, well, Johnson & Johnson. My girl Lita said she bought a deep in the money call for today and closed it yesterday for 2 Rs. All right. Anthony says, I'm holding a 145 naked call. Naked call. If you get the chance, Anthony, I would probably look to buy that one back if you don't mind. Or not if you don't mind. Didn't mean to say that. Unless you have another plan on it, that one's probably going to start getting quickly in the money and continue pretty high. Steven says, how far out would you go with a bull put spread or put sale? I usually do a 2 to 3 months max. 2 to 3 months max is about how far I go, David. Sometimes it's farther on a rare occasion. Mike Smith says, do you have time for NCVR? I will add it to the list for Monday, my friend. NVCR. Steven says, so you maximize decay that way. Exactly. So theta decay is greatest 45 days until expiration. So it's really kind of right around there. But anyway, Johnson & Johnson, good trade. There's some traders with some put sales down there for February. We'll see what it continues to end up doing. But good trade, guys. Johnson & Johnson, fun little move. Nice. LFIN. LFIN. I've been keeping an eye on this one to see if it was going to do anything exciting, but doesn't look like it. Nope, it's not going to do anything. I'll put it on the list for, I don't know, Thursday of next week and just keep moving on. Doesn't look exciting. FEYE. 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 Ooh, this is the daily chart. Here's the long-term moving average, a little pop above the 100. I think FEYE is going to slowly start creeping higher, at least back to 16 for whoever requested this one. Got some good resistance right here. FEYE does look on the marginal bullish side to me. Ooh, right off the 100 on a weekly. Look at that head and shoulders pattern. Type in a 3 if you think a lot of traders are going to start shorting it. I'm going to type in a 3, but don't short it. Don't be like them. We're better than that. This is not going to be a head and shoulders that plays out. So let's go bullish on it, shall we? FEYE off the 100 looks pretty good. Trend looks nice. Here's what I want it to do. I want it to do this, this, and this. Hashtag Mr. Squiggles. We'll look at that sometime next week, but it should be pretty good. David says, head and shoulders need to wait for the neckline breakout. Correctamundo. Okay, so that'll be kind of my plan on FEYE. Will it happen? Maybe, but I'll put it on the list for next week. We'll come back to it, but it does look kind of bullish. Earnings are on the 8th of February, so we'll see what happens on that one. RDFN, Redfin. Redfin. I forget who asked about this one earlier, but you got a really nice support resistance level right there. We may or may not have bounced off of that before back in November. So now we have a bearish gap down inside candle followed by a one white soldier pattern. Here's a resistance up here on Redfin. We played this one pretty well in the portfolio, fall portfolio, I believe. So if you're looking at playing Redfin, you probably got triggered in today, more than likely. If you did not, I would probably hop into the hourly chart and just look to buy this one as a buy low, sell high channel, right? So when it's playing a channel, turn the moving averages off because it's irrelevant. David wants to look at it on the weekly chart. Yep, looks like a good channel. So here's the hourly time frame and the hourly time frame. Yeah, if I was looking at playing Redfin personally, which I'm not, but if I were, I would look for a pullback to 22 and some change and hashtag buy the salsa. That's my thoughts on Redfin. Tim says, I just saw Mr. Squiggles canoeing down the Swanee River. That rascal is everywhere. Well, he needs to get back here because I need him for something. So that's Redfin. That's my thoughts. Next on the list, we have BABA. Type in a 4 if you have some type of bullish exposure in BABA. Let's see some 4s. I've been talking about this one all week long. All week. All week long. So, you got some 4s. Congrats. That makes me very happy. Now, earnings is around the corner. Next week, in fact. Best case scenario. BABA gaps down here. TJ says, thought we were waiting for earnings. I mean, it's BABA. I mean, earnings, you know, they're going to end up going higher at some point. But what I mentioned on BABA was put your pinky toe in. You don't have to put both feet in, but make sure you have a little bit of exposure into it because it's going to break out. I mentioned back here, but this was before the free week, DJ. I mentioned back here, when we break out this resistance, make sure you are in long. Do not be afraid, that whole thing. So, you know, put a little tiptoe in. As Warren Buffett says, don't test the depth of a lake with both feet. So here's the only way BABA is bearish, in my opinion, but I'm right. The only way we're bearish on BABA is if we gap below here, which is 175. Is it possible? Sure. Otherwise, it probably gaps up. So let me guys give you some comparisons in case you want to know how bullish BABA is, just to throw this out there. How many subscribers does Netflix have? Do you guys know? I have a rough idea, but I think it's around 100 million. 100 million, which is beans. That's nothing. 200 million now? Okay, so 200 million. I didn't read the last report. 200 million, that's nothing. That's not even U.S. That's not even all of the U.S. residents. That's nothing. Easily could get 1 billion. No problem. So Netflix is going to keep going. Alibaba already has 350 million users on a daily basis. 350 mil. So you tell me. That's why BABA's going higher. I personally think it gaps up and trades higher. BABA breakout before earnings. BABA will be strong this year. Very bullish. Count your blessings if we get a dip and you can buy it. The only way I play a bear move on this one is with an open in the red box. Red box, Netflix, BABA, huh? Anybody? All right, so here's BABA. Here's my 2018 targets. Bull put spreads, thoughts from here. BABA, okay. Seymour says, BABA, is that the stock you said if you had $1 million you would put it in, or is that Google? That was Google. I said if I had $10 million, $1 million of it would be in Google. That's my exact quote. Yeah. I would have some money in Baba for sure, though. TJ says, I'm still figuring out whether leaps before earnings works for me or not. I know I want exposure soon. Right on. I hear you, man. Well, just at least keep practicing it. You're young, baby. You got plenty of time. I'm pumped for you. Steven says, I'm still in SQ. Fantastic. Keep holding. So that's my plans on Baba. These are some targets. Late Q1 or early Q2. Looks like it's going to be early Q1. We might hit that on earnings. We probably will. Next on the list is American Express. American Express. Nice little wicked pair candle on American Express down here. Had an inside day candle on the 23rd. This was a setup that I had for Brian Shepard. He's in bullish. So he's in. And I don't know anyone else in American Express. So right on. John says, when do you decide to do bull puts versus naked puts? A naked put, John, for me will be a stock that I don't mind owning. A bull put spread will be a stock that I really don't care about owning at all. Richard's in on Amex. All right, Richard, beautiful. Thanks for letting me know. Here's the dollar index, DXY. And the dollar index is Senior Frothington. It is not going higher. Very nice high wave candle on the dollar index right here. And these two candles have the exact same low, 8844. So the US dollar, I mentioned to this not too long ago for some folks. Type in a 2 if you live internationally. If you live internationally, this is a good time to start coming over to America. The dollar is starting to decline in value. And I'm not saying it has to be right now, but I probably won't trade it. This was the time to travel internationally, and this is the time to come to America if you're living internationally. I think the dollar will get a little weaker. I think some more pullback will come in. Is this a head and shoulders pattern? Kind of. I did have a good friend of mine named Adam Faragali. He asked me not too long ago, and by not too long ago, I mean right here, how do you short the dollar? And I said, the only way you can short the dollar is by A, trading foreign currencies, or B, go long some kind of inverse, like oil or gold, or maybe trade some kind of bonds or something. But here's an ETF that tracks is UUP. So usually as the dollar goes lower, gold and silver go higher. Usually a pretty good correlation there. So the UUP has also been breaking down. But again, these things are very small movements. Very small movements. So the normal protocol is dollar goes down, equities go higher because more people put their money into equities to get more out of it. The stronger the dollar is, usually, theoretically, the weaker the market or the weaker the equities are because people want to hold their dollars. So we are trading to some support. I think there's a chance to go lower. I will say I'm not a macroeconomist by any means. I've gotten a little bit better with it. But Richard says the low U.S. dollar helps Trump politically. So I know he wants a stronger dollar, but I think you're right, Richard. I think overall the U.S. dollar probably goes a little bit lower and gives people some more exposure. If you're a Canadian student of mine, this is probably a good time to buy the real-life trading classes because the Canadian dollar versus U.S. dollar has gone lower. So here's a U.S. Canadian dollar. So whereas it was much more expensive, a year ago, if you're in Canada to buy the real life trading classes, it's going to be a little bit better now. A little bit better. So yeah, the U.S. dollar as a Canadian dollar paired is doing its thing. It could double bottom, but I think it really just pulls back down to about $1.20 on USD, CAD, and then looks to bounce. That's just my opinion, though. I could be wrong. But anyway, I don't trade foreign currencies, so that's not my specialty. That's not that's like LeBron James being in football. It just doesn't happen. But here is gold and GLD. So back in December, Mentioned there's a very nice morning star reversal pattern right here on gold. So if you were going to go bullish, that is where you would want to go bullish. And I mean, that was just a powerful, powerful candle pattern down there at that support level, and gold went bananas. So it is back at a resistance, but the interesting thing is, here's the weekly chart, 100 crossed the 200. That's a big deal. Here's the monthly. So on gold, it did trade to a resistance, but we ever break out of this resistance, gold's going to look interesting again. If it does not and trades back down to here, then you could probably just look to buy it again. But we'll kind of see and take it from there. Andy said, just read this, Roth IRAs. This is amazing. And I was thinking about joining Edward Jones because I didn't know you could do it on Roth. Nice. Oh, that's my article. Thanks, Andy. You're awesome, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, you can definitely do your own Roth for sure. People don't tell you, but you can do all the stuff that mutual funds do for you. You can just do yourself. You don't need them. You can use them if you want, right? I have a few friends who are financial advisors. It's okay. I'm just saying, I get it. Some people don't want to manage their money, but if you are someone who wants to, if you want to be in that environment, then you can have someone help you. But if you don't want to mess with the money, then yeah, that's a very valuable tool, if you will. But no one's going to care more about your money than you. Exactly. So David says gold wedge rules. Yeah, the red lines, I think it's on the verge of breaking out. I think we have one more pullback though, because this is a retest gap on the monthly chart. So I'm not going long gold here. If it breaks out, make all-time highs, I'll miss a little bit of the move, but I'll look to get a pullback. Gold could be on the verge of breaking out. Yes, GLD. It could get pretty fun down here. And if that happens, that means that equities are going to go even higher. Gold and silver are going to go higher, and the dollar is going to go even lower, which will be like a balancing act. But when the dollar reaches a really strong support level and it starts going up, that's when equities will go lower. Big picture. So Tommy, you asked about URI last 2 or 3 days. I think you were looking to short it. Glad you didn't. Up 2%. So URI, United Rentals, pulled back nicely to the 20 on earnings, and the trend just kind of doing its thing. So nice little buy the dip. Trend is your friends. You two go out and get some popcorn and watch a movie together and keep up the beautifulness. MNKD. Mankind. Shredded. Shredsville. 19 million shares sold today. Jeez, it opened and just everyone sold off. Everyone took their profits. Yeah, it's not good. So let's keep moving on. Next on the list is AYX, and this is one that Mike Oldenfield wanted me to look at. AYX, this is a newer stock, I believe. Here's the weekly. Yep, newer company, newer IPO. What do they do again? Software. Okay, hard to go wrong there. That's a bullish gap and go. That's an inside doji. Yes, please. Probably going to be a little conservative with this entry because it is a newer stock. Volume's a little bit light, so I'd prefer to do the shares. Let me go look at the hourly and see if I can get this thing cheaper. I probably could do this, and this is likely what will happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this and I'm going to get ready for it. And I'm going to look at it Monday. So I'm hoping all of you plan on joining me next week. We made 11 R's this week together. 11. So, of course. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking on AYX. I like the trend. It's next on the list. Seymour says, that's all you need a month to live on as far as R's go. I know, dude. It's amazing. It's incredible stuff. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on AYX. If it does not trigger Monday, then I will just take the breakout. Okay, next on the list is LRCX. This is for Sherry and Christian Gill and numerous others. Lamb Research had a bullish gap yesterday, and I think Sherry said she played it bullish yesterday and got lucky. Dan says 11 hours, day room or afternoon room? Both combined, Mr. Leonard. Both combined. They were both free, right? So that's the total. I combined both. Donnie says, yes, you can do your own Roth. We do. It's awesome. Trading with no taxes on gains. Woo! That's right. Gregory says, when you get a chance, can you publish AYX as an idea? I don't publish it, but I'll just send you the link. Here you go, Greg. I'll look at it again on Monday, though, and you've already signed up, so you'll be here. But here's the link. I'll put it in the chat pane because I love you guys. But publishing it, usually that means everyone gets it again for free. Roth, Joseph says, Roth on which broker? You can do a Roth on any broker, man. It doesn't matter. They all have Roth accounts. Every one of them. Except for maybe Robinhood, but I mean they all got Roths. Okay, where was I? AYX, LRCX. LRCX. Yeah, Cherry, if you made money on LRCX yesterday bullish, you were very lucky. Yeah, I'll tell you that straight up. But it had a bullish gap. It was on earnings. We are at a resistance. Should trade it back down. The 100, he bounced off of it a few times. If you were planning on trading LRCX, which I have not, for no particular reason other than you can't be in everything, that was a nice old support, old resistance, nice little spot to buy. If you're looking at going bullish on LRCX, entry would be above the high of today's candle, and the trend would just continue to be its friend. So you and Ferdinand, take an eye on LRCX. Here's the hourly chart. Hourly chart, you had a nice little bullish gap and go today. Nice little structure. If you're more of an aggressive trader, you could put an entry. Actually, I like that trade a lot. Put an entry right here at 203.60 with the stop at about 198. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on that for a more aggressive trade. A little bit more aggressive. So I'll be watching that Monday morning. LRCX. I'm just going to write a note for myself. Again, if you're a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more active of a trader, you're welcome to keep your eyes on it. Okay, cool. So next on the list, we have AMAT. AMAT, here is the daily chart. And I forget who's in this trade or if anyone's in this trade or they're just requesting it. I'm not sure. But it had a very nice bullish gap and go on the 17th. That was the trade that Brad took for an hour and a half or so. Where's earnings? I think AMAT's already had earnings, but let me just check. AMAT, February 15th. Oh, we got some time. Okay. So I'll be bullish to neutral on this one. Ryan Simpson, what's up, buddy? Yeah, bullish to neutral. Maybe some kind of bull put spread, put sale, something like that down here. Otherwise, I mean, with earnings right around the corner, this is the resistance based on that giant bearish candle. So if we start making a higher high, I think the trend will continue. I'd really like it if it closed above that bearish candle and that wick right there. I would prefer on AMAT to go just bull put spreads or something like that. But earnings are on the 15th, so just keep that in mind. Next on the list is CARA. This was a swing trade that we had open that we placed yesterday. I did want it to trigger tomorrow, but I don't mind that candle. So I'm going to leave this one open for another 2 or 3 days, Stephen King. Let's come back and look at this one on Tuesday. If it hasn't triggered by Tuesday, then I'll probably cancel it and move on to the next one. I probably should look at CTL at some point because CTL is the swing trade that we got into today. This is a trade that we placed yesterday, by the way. Again, in the trading room for free. So this one could be trade of the year, I think, if it really starts cranking out. My fingers are crossed big time. But if it trades up to the 20, that could be a 6-7R trade. 20.49 some change. I'm going to try my best to hold it to there because it could go berserkers. We'll see. It looks nice, but we're in. Next on the list is ticker symbol PM, Philip Morris. Ashley says, is CenturyLink a good long-term hold? It pays dividends. So I guess theoretically, yeah. Nice lower shadow on Philip Morris. Good job, Seymour. Here's the weekly chart on Philip Morris. And folks, that is what's referred to as the double bottom. Ticker symbol PM, looking toasty. So longer term, I mean, if Philip Morris, if you're looking at playing it bullish, if you don't, that's okay. And if you do, I mean, I would honestly just argue if it closes above this little line or if it continues higher, I think Philip Morris will continue. I think Niels did a put sale on PM, but I can't remember if he did or not. But I'll get those put sales from him next week, no problem. But Philip Morris, beautiful bounce off the 100 simple on the weekly chart, good volume. Looks like she's ready to run. Next on the list, Texas Instruments, ticker symbol TXN. Here's the daily charts, and we waited for Texas Instruments. Congrats. I want to take that trade bearish so badly. So badly I want to take it, but I was like, this market is unstoppable. Unstoppable. So I just didn't take it. I came so close. You guys heard me talk about it. If you want to go back through the recordings, you can go back through Thursday and Wednesday's recordings. They are free on our YouTube channel. You have access to them for your entire life, and you can listen to the sound of my voice. I planned it on Wednesday. It didn't do exactly what I wanted to yesterday. Market's just very strong and bullish. I haven't made any money going bearish on anything since like August. And that was like a one-off trade anyway. So anyway, Texas Instruments, guys, kind of looks bullish, crazy as it sounds. 1 day of pullback. Okay, fine. BB is about to be ready. Come back with us next week, and you'll see how I take BB. Next on the list is Twitter. Twitter had a nice little pop today. It did the exact opposite of what I wanted it to do. I don't have any position on Twitter, but I wanted to pull back down to long-term moving averages. Nope, that didn't happen. Here's the weekly chart, and I do think we're going to make it to the 200 simple on that weekly time frame. Here's the weekly moving averages. We pull down to the 10. If you're looking at playing Twitter, I do think I have a pretty good idea of how she's going to play out from here. This, I think, will work. Something like that. So I'm not saying you have to play Twitter. All I'm saying is if you want to, I think it could pull back into those moving averages and go a little bit higher. Next on the list is British Petroleum, ticker symbol BP, which I'm a big fan of. Right now, it's just at a rock-solid long-term resistance at 44.49. Weekly candle looks good. Obviously, the stock gaps a lot, but BP, if it breaks this level, you know, I'm not really entirely sure where she's going to go. Probably here, 47.60. I know Jesse's in BP. Jesse, congrats on BP. How was your week? So that was BP. I mean, longer term, she's a powerhouse. It's been one of my favorite energy stocks for the last 2-3 years, as you guys all know. The returns haven't been amazing, but they've been consistent. Richard says, BP cannot but go long on fundamentals alone. And there's Richard with a fantastic viewpoint. So obviously right where it's at right now, I wouldn't be an amazing advocate to buy it. I would prefer a pullback, but longer term, it's a powerhouse. WATT, what? What's up? We're going to look at this one again on Monday. Stay tuned for Monday to figure out how we're going to trade it, but that's next week. Next on the list is data. I think I missed data. I don't know if Tommy missed it or not, but data is breaking out. It did not pull back. I'm going to put that on the list also next week and see if we can catch a pullback. Next on the list, we've already looked at CenturyLink. Shopify, ticker symbol SHOP. So Shopify, I drew this set up yesterday. Actually, I'm sorry, 2 days ago. And Shopify continued higher, and it hit the exact price that I drew and kind of paused. Makes sense. So at this point, more traders have made money on Shopify over the last year than I know what to do with. This was also a trade. If you go back to Monday's class, hour 2, okay, Monday's class, hour 2, I said, what is the bounce? I talked about Shopify, and I said, buy the retest and make money. It's pretty much what I said, more or less. John got 3.5 R's today. So you can go back. Again, I gave so many trades out this week, it was unfathomable. I want you in this thing, folks. I want to trade with you. You will make me better. Iron sharpens iron. Sharpens iron? Is that the term? Iron sharpens iron? Asher says exit shop. No, I think you're fine. I said keep holding for a little bit. Should keep going up. LAD lithium motors. Don't have any position in LAD, but the trend looks really good. This is the weekly chart on LAD. By the way, check out this weekly gap. White candle gapping up. This is the retest gap. That's the retest, like butter. Here's the daily time frame. Yeah, I mean, if you're in LAD, you're at a little bit of a resistance right now. It probably does pull back some more. I'm going to put this on the list for next Thursday because it looks like if LAD breaks out of that resistance, she's gone with the wind. Next on the list is we got WYNN. I've already done AT&T. So WYNN, Ryan says, are these recorded each day? I couldn't remember for members. Yes, sir. Think about it, Ryan. It would be a pretty terrible product if they were not recorded, right? I mean, it would just be not worth it. So yeah, of course. Yep, totally recorded. WYNN Resorts had some bad news, and well, you know, it's just retesting this retest gap. White candle gapping up, retesting the retest gap. I'm actually looking on WYNN Resorts to buy the dip. I am probably going to get into a bull put spread on Monday on WYNN. This is a sharp drop, a lot of volume, but the trend is unquestionable. Bull put spread February, question mark, maybe even March. Or put sales. The timing of where exactly and how low this is going to be, I'm not sure. Here's the weekly chart, and the weekly chart, come back to the 20, and that's pretty much about it. Marta says, how much bad news is consideration for you to avoid a stock? CEO might resign due to sexual harassment. Which if he sexually harassed somebody, I hope he does resign and face full measures of the law. But as far as news is concerned, I mean, a new CEO could step up tomorrow and everything would be fine. But it is, if it's Steve WYNN, I mean, I think he's more than the CEO, right? So after hours, we're actually bouncing, David, so there's no concern there. Yeah, I'm thinking of going bull put spread sometime next week. Lita says, you might want to check what Massachusetts is going to do about the new license for the new casino. All right. Thank you, Lita, for that advice. I appreciate it. Justin says, CEO not resigning, ploy from ex-wife to get money. Well, there you go. So I might have to read into a little bit more. I have not read into it, but this does look like a quick selling candle to me. If we pretended we lived in a world with no news, and we lived in a world where news were not paid by advertisers and sponsors to give you the news, and they actually cared about what they were saying, then I would say this is just a retest candle, and it's a buy the dip opportunity, right? You have another retest gap here on the weekly chart. I think WYNN could pull back a little bit more, but if they do, it'll be a buying spot. So I'm looking at buying a dip on WYNN. Luke says news is only there to distract. Couldn't agree more. Last but not least on the list is Honeywell, ticker symbol HON. And Honeywell, Seymour, I love you, man. If I could hug you, I would. Ladies and gentlemen, Seymour helping traders get in bullish back here with a stop back there. Crazy trend, nice move. Earnings, I think, were today. It was a very nice retest gap, by the way. 5-minute chart, stock gapped up, retested like a boss. I mean, there's the hammer. If you're looking at playing a retest gap and you don't get in with that hammer right there, I mean, that is Thor. That is Chris Hemsworth, hammer of Thor. So that was a power move. Power. So anyway, Honeywell, here's the weekly chart. I'll have to do a fib at some point to figure out exactly when this is going to stop. I'll put down the list for Monday, and I'll do a fib on Monday. Let's talk about the stocks that we're going to look at on Monday. That's all for me today. I went a little bit long, but that's okay during the free week. I'll do exactly 60 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Sometimes I go long. What do you guys want to look at on Monday? I got a nice little list. Remember, if you're requesting stocks and you want to see them, guess what you have to do, ladies and gentlemen? Sign up. Yes. Let me enrich your life. Help. I want you to enrich my life. I want us together to enrich other people's lives. Let's keep doing that. XXII and WEED was requested by Mark. Honeywell again, Apple, MZOR, Comcast, CMCSA, MULE, MOMO, ACAD, PBYI, BOLD, SLB, Google, MU, and TUS, Square, Pets, Rig, iRobot. Okay. Question. For those who haven't signed up, tell me why. What can I do to convince you? What do you need from me? If you haven't gotten in, what else do you need? Matthew says, can't afford it. Okay. I understand, Matthew. What else? David says, talk to my wife. You got it, David. Chat with her. Ryan says, looking at crypto too much. Can't even remember. LOL. All right. Mike says, too expensive for just the afternoon room. 119 bucks. All right, Mike. I got it. You should sell your car if you have one then. But 119 bucks is too expensive. Man. Kevin says, need a testimony from Manuli. Hit me up. Todd says, signing up now. Lerma says, Claude says, I'll send you an email. TJ says, just telling Christine tonight. Duhart says, a wife plus 2 goats. That is awesome. Matthew says, I'm on a tiny budget. It's all right, man. Hey, if you can't afford it, guys, it's okay. I get it. Here's what all I will say regarding expenses. Here's the question that you get to ask. You always get to determine this. You get to ask, is it too expensive, or how do I pay for it? It's just a better question. Is it too expensive, or how do I pay for it? Everything will be too expensive in your life if you always say it's too expensive. Another question is, can you afford to not be in the room? If 119 bucks is too expensive, you are probably the perfect person to actually be in the room, because I'm going to expand your mind. That's all I got to say, folks. It is a mental thing. Money is a mental thing. Let me give you some more info. True story. I had a trader email me about a year ago. He said, Jeremy, I made $1 million on one swing trade. I was like, $1 million? What? That's amazing. So you made $1 million on one trade? He's like, no, man, not dollars, rupees. I was like, oh, rupees. I was like, how much is that? It was like 116,000 or so, or not 116, like 16,000 US dollars. Still a great trade. But my mind saw this number and it automatically made me think something incredible, right? Already made me do, it made me think, wow, 1 million. That could be 1 million grains of sand. That could be 1 million Brussels sprouts, which would be terrible. That would be 1 million, whatever, right? Blackberries. I had someone today tell me not too long ago, no, 1 million rupees is nothing to sneeze at. No, for sure. It's a solid trade. Don't get me wrong. Solid trade. But it just wasn't 1 million US dollars. And he told me that. And it was just like, it was a mental shift for me. I was like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. But I had another trader say something that was really interesting. The term paper money. I'm trading paper money. Type in a 3 if you've ever said that term before, because it's actually an interesting psychological shift. Tell me, what is the difference, ladies and gentlemen who are here? There's over 160 of you still here. Tell me the difference. What's the difference between paper money and real money? What is the difference? The difference is you. The difference is you. Yes, that is the difference. It's what you think. It is your mindset. It is your psychology. That's the difference. Everything else is the same. It's just numbers on a screen. Am I right? Just numbers on the screen. Paper, if you're trading paper money and you make money trading paper money, but you don't make money trading real money, it's you. Dylan, I hear you, man. So Dylan's telling me about, he paid $14,000 for another trading company and he's paying $400 a month. Hey man, I get it, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I wasn't there first. That's all I can say is I apologize. I'm doing my absolute best to break through just take this industry down by the knees and make it less expensive for people. Ryan says it's mental. It's like trading with casino chips. Exactly. But my friends, all I'm getting at is if there's one thing I will do for you, bottom of the barrel, if there's any one thing I can do for you, I will help you change your mindset about money. Because it's not what you can't afford. It's not how expensive it is. It's a mindset thing. Do you feel like you deserve it? Do you feel like it will work? Do you feel confident enough? Kevin says, do you have a special just for the swing trading room? So I've been asked this question a lot. My special is just $119. That's the price that it always is for the afternoon swing trading room. So right now, the entire package is $169. So if you do just the afternoon swing trading room, it's only $119, which is $50 cheaper. So, that's the special, I guess, if you want. So it's $119. But yeah, that's the afternoon room is $119 a month. Yep. Or 2 R's or 2.2 R's, says Mark. Yes. And Gronk says, guys, you don't have to commit for a lifetime. It's just a month. That's what I'm saying. You guys can't do a month? You can't do 1 month? Come on, folks. Do a month. Give me a month of your time. 1 month of your time. 1 month of your time. 1 month. And let me at least put you out of your comfort zone. When is the only time that you're going to grow in life, my friends? The only time you're going to grow out of your life is when you're out of your comfort zone. 1 month can change your life. It's only $169. I'm not asking for $40,000. I'm not asking for $14,000. I'm not even asking $1,000. $169. People made fun of me the other day that that is less than my cell phone bill. All right, I paid I went to dinner the other day and I paid $100 for dinner. That's one dinner for 3 people. This is $169. All I'm saying is if you actually want to grow, just be a little uncomfortable. Just try something new. Live on the edge. And as Gronk says, this is the last time you're going to hear me do a pitch. Yeah, this is the last time. I don't do pitches. After this is over. In fact, I don't do trading rooms. The next trading room is going to be in June when it's free. You know how much money we're going to make between now and June? Thousands. R's and R's and R's. Okay. Bob says, I sent an email earlier to join the afternoon trading room. It was going to go to ashley@reallifetrading.com, wasn't it? Yes. I'm sure she'll get back to you, Mr. Bob Wilson. If not, email me also. Yeah. She got about 417 emails today. We're going to work through it tonight. Just a lot of questions. Most of them are questions. Tim says, will you ever offer it for $169 again? No. Nope. So the last time I did this, I think it was $159, and the last time I did it before it was $149, and so on and so forth. I'm sure come June I will have another special, but it will never be this low ever again. Of that I can promise you. It's just always going to go higher. I am like the stock market. My prices will only go up. All right. Adriana says, what's the link for signing up? I will put it in the chat pane for you, Adriana. I appreciate you asking. I will also email this to you. Tim says, can I buy 20 and sell them later? You know what, Tim? That's actually, I've never been asked that question. Sure. I'll make that deal with you. You want to buy 20 now and sell them later when I increase the price? Yeah, I'll do that. Because I will increase the price and you will sell 20 back in June. Lake Jerry says, will this price be the price when I go to renew? Yeah, exactly. Going long, real life trading memberships. It is so amazing. All right, folks, I'm done. I don't do sales pitches well. Here's the last thing I'm going to say. This is it for the entire month. The next time will be all the way in June. I'll have another free week at some point, maybe even July. Just depends, but it won't be anytime soon. Monday, I'm going to be doing a cryptocurrency program along with the afternoon swing trading room, along with day trading. We have a new trading. We have an interview every single week with real life traders. You get to chat with people from all around the world. All I want to say is, if this week was any value to you at all, join in, join the family, join the community, be here. Let's enrich lives together. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. You guys rock. Bye.